Hi, I'm John. I'm with the mysheffield's team, and I'm interviewing Roy.
Good morning.
What was your school life like?
School life? Oh, quite Spartan. Went to Utteridge Council School and started at 5 years old. And the first 2 or 3 classes, it was like being with your grandparents who looked after you. And the main thing you were doing was either making raffia mats or drawing on paper. And on a Friday afternoon, the teacher, this is pre-war of course, this was I went to start school in 1935, and on a Friday afternoon the teacher would bring a box of toffees and everybody got a toffee. It was more like being at home than being at school. They were just, you know, happy days. And then we moved up to the senior, well, we called it the senior, the top school we used to call it at Utteridge. And what were we waiting up then? We had this lady teacher. Oh my word. If you did anything wrong, she had one of those wooden 12-inch rulers, and you used to get your back of your knuckles wrapped with this, and you don't think they can hurt, but my word, when you're about 8 years old and you get that wrapping away. And throw, she did all like a cricketer. She could hit you from any angle. She used to throw keys, inkwells, whatever came to hand, the board, duster, anything. And of course then, it was a question, you used to be stood to attention, and they'd be on about doing your tables, and you used to learn by rote, they call it R-O-T-E, rote. 2 twos are 4, 3 twos are 6, and away you went until you got through, and you were really clever, and you got your 12 times table, they say. So that's how you used to go on, and they talk today about you instead of having sport. But at school, if it looked like rain, if it had been raining, then it was too wet to go on the field, so you had to stop in class, you didn't get down. If very day you got down to the park for a game, and if you did get down, then the question was, somebody would want to be taking the ball back to school next morning. So in the evening, you were great, you got a football to play with, you could go and have another game of football. But that's why things were so Spartan. If you had a football, you were cock at minute, you know. Oh, you were obviously a team, and everybody wanted to know you because you got something to play with. And so I went through until I was 14, and the last couple of years we were practically doing the same thing the last year that we'd done the year previous. In fact, the headmaster at one stage, this is 1944, and the war looks to be coming to a close, and he had us cleaning all the things out. The fire buckets, there used to be a bucket of water, a bucket of sand, you know, so these are wartime conditions. And I always remember there was this bucket, and it had this pair of plimsolls, running shoes, and they belonged to the teacher who taught in Standard 6, and he got killed in the Fleet Air Arm in the war. And he was a brilliant bloke. But you see, the thing was in them days, nobody talked in class. But he said, the first hour you were in his class was spent by him talking to you about what he would allow and what he wouldn't allow. And so he never varied, If you did anything that you knew he didn't allow, you got the cane. If you kicked on the right side, you were okay. You knew where you stood all the way through. And if he laid the cane on, he used to draw the cane out of his sleeve. Oh, and did it used to rain? It used to be really here. But anyhow, there was that. And then, of course, there were the odd air raids where you used to get taken into the shelter. And that's where the artistic temperament came in, because they were always looking for somebody to stand up and either, you know, incite a rhyme or sing. And so there were quite a number of kids who were good at that. But one incident that stands out, this will be about 1938. And I think the kids of today, I'd look at you going out as you told them. Can you imagine that a teacher today taking the children out into the yard to see aeroplanes? They're so frequent that, you know, it's unbelievable. but at that stage there were so few of them, and this was an air race to Australia. And there were these brightly coloured planes going over, and I should imagine top speed about 110 miles an hour, something like that. So they were in view for ages, and they were all in the schoolyard watching these planes going over. As I say, you yourself, you'd be amazed if the teacher took you outside to see these aeroplanes. Of course, we were only, as I said, about 8 or 9 at that stage, and it was brilliant. And then, of course, we got through, same as the Sheffield Blitz, these different areas, and a bit terrifying, the Blitz, all the noise and whatever. You was trying to sleep down in the cellar kitchen under the stones, but the stone roof, I mean. But it was, we got through it, And then, of course, after the Sheffield Blitz, there was no water on the sink for a while, and it was all gas lighting, and the gas was cut off for quite a long time. And we used to have a candle on there. But my father was a miner at the Canister mine at up towards Wortley Hall, and he used to have a lamp, and we used to put that on. So we very, you know, you could hardly read a paper by them when it come dark. You know, you could see what you were doing as regards cooking and eating and that kind of thing. But things were very good. Anyway, I come to leaving school in 1944, and it was the October holiday, what we used to call the potato picking holiday. I said that because while we were at school, I'd say all the men were away, and we used to get cards in October for leaving school for a half day to go potato picking. And the farmer used to have to sign that you'd done your work, and you used to get £0.50 for the morning or £0.50 for the afternoon, whichever one you did. And there are all these kind of things come into it. Shopping, went to fetch my grandmother's ration. My grandmother lived close by, and I used to go and do her shopping. Used to go and fetch her rations, and it used to be 1 and 3 hymns in all money for the sugar, tea, butter, lard, cheese, whatever, the amount she got for the week. Oh!
And I tell you what they learned to us at school, and we don't learn it you now. We had to know alphabet, say it forward, and we had to say it backwards. And I've learned...
Can I still do that?
Yeah. Said Y, X, W, B, U, T, S, R, P, Q, R, N, L, K, J, H, I, I used to go to Monterey School and help my niece, she taught there. And I saw Monterey School open.
Are you alright to do Monterey?
No, I'm very fine.
Are you alright?
Yeah, and we opened Monterey School canteen. And on craft day, the Anthony Stock, they used to go tell Martin 8. And all the boys wanted to come with me. And I talked to Martin 8, we used to knit squares and make a blanket and then take them to, this is about 40 years, no, I was retired. It isn't so long. It's about 1952 when it opened, and they took them to Legal Art at Northern General. We made blankets for squares of that, nice order. And they used to come and I used to teach them alphabet. And they were thrilled when they could. And today, I've been in Nazar many times, and some distruction have said, hello, Mrs. Lodi, still knit? And it'll be going, it is there, yeah.
You still what?
Knit. Oh, yeah. I've knitted more football caps and embroidered Sheffield Wednesday on front for the kids in the street. I knitted my neighbours 2 little lamps one apiece because they had a supporters club from Publix, you know, and they used to go, and my husband used to be a supporter. And I'd have first 1 little lad. My mum's knitting me a cap, but she can't make a pom-pom. And while I knitted, every Tom, Dick and Harry's child up there had a cap for football. I used to knit them all.